Hey, I'm the girl who lost her husband on TikTok and millions watched. If you're new here, my husband left me because I stopped doing housework. I recorded him divorcing me at the courthouse and posted it. Y'all thought I was crazy. He immediately moved out and now living on the streets. Damn, was it that bad here? He rather lived in his car and than on the couch. Now I'm back alone, no one to protect or love me. I'm taking it one day at a time, waiting on him to return. I saw him go into a woman's house a few days ago, but it's all good, he'll be back.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll watch several divorced women blaming men for their own decisions to get divorced. Zero personal accountability, but plenty of blame for the man. Let's get started.
Natalie Reynolds has ruined my 32-year marriage. I'm so ashamed to be talking about this online, but hopefully I can spread awareness. About 4 nights ago, I was on my husband's phone and I saw an email that looked a little suspicious to me. I clicked on it and there were $350 in charges on his credit card, purchasing fans-only content. Mind you guys, I'm older and I didn't know what it was. But after doing some research, I found out. I'm so disappointed in the man who I thought loved me. This Natalie woman is supplying this type of content to married men. Any woman out there watching this, I want you to know about these online girls that are doing these things. And if you have dealt with something like this, just know you're not alone. Thank you. Natalie Reynolds destroyed my marriage of 32 years, and I'm here to clear some things up. A lot of people are saying it was all my husband's fault. Yes, he was wrong, and I feel betrayed for what he did, but it takes two to tango. Natalie was privately messaging my husband, trying to sell him content. It doesn't matter that she didn't know he was married. She should have asked before engaging with him intimately. The private messages from Natalie on her fans-only site showed her trying to pressure my husband into purchasing content. I am disappointed in Natalie Reynolds, as well as my husband, for falling for the trap that she set to purchase her content.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Natalie Reynolds doesn't even know your husband exists. She's got a team of ghostwriters running her DMs and charging subscriptions. To her, your husband was just another number on the auto payment list. After 32 years of marriage, he ended up paying hundreds of dollars to a stranger online. It's rough, but the real question is, what was missing at home that made him look for something outside? Instead of blaming some girl from the Blue app who doesn't even know his name, ask yourself what happened to the intimacy, the desire, and the connection over those 32 years. Because married men don't become addicted to adult content for no reason. They do it when nothing's happening in their own bed anymore. And yes, watching adult content is wrong. It messes with your mind and your relationship. But the massive consumption among married men isn't Natalie Reynolds' fault. It's because there's no fire left at home.
If your wife doesn't want to sleep with you, I guarantee you're not going to have a fun time out in the dating world. I hate to tell it to you, it's a huge red flag. All of us super get it. Like, you had a whole ass wife, a whole ass family, and that shit fell apart. And you want me to give you a chance at our big age? You better just make that marriage work. You better just make that motherfucking marriage work, because it is not going to be any better for you on the outside. I guarantee you that. Now, the ladies, you're good. There will be lines out the door and around the corner. You have nothing to worry about that, ma'am. I promise you that. If you only knew how certain I am in my like deepest heart of hearts, I don't need to see what you look like. I know you're good. Please go take a bath, take care of yourself. But you, sir, you are not fucked.
Women want the bears, and we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. All right then, let's get back to the video. This is pretty ironic, because when your ex-husband divorced you, he got remarried, kept the house, won custody of the kids, and you've got a line of guys for what exactly? I'll give you that. When it comes to sex, there's not a line. There's a whole block of men. Modern women confuse "there's always a guy willing to sleep with me" with "there's always a man willing to stay." Huge mistake. Men who've been husbands before know the game. They know how to provide, how to win you over, and how to choose. That's why they almost always end up with a younger, upgraded version of the last wife. So while she's out here filming videos playing the victim, he's already on his second honeymoon. He won. She lost. Period.
Women.
I really thought I'd be starting 2025 with a pregnancy announcement, but instead I'm telling you I am no longer with my husband. No one really tells you how to navigate separation. I'm only speaking about my experience and my emotions because I don't want to speak for my husband. I've never really seen people talk about it on social media, but I want to be honest with you guys about what's been happening in real time. Some of you have probably been able to guess that because I just up and left the Bay Area. He didn't come with me. Now we're navigating next steps, figuring out what we want to do. If we want to stay together, we want to move on with our lives. I'm sorry if I seem unemotional in this video. I'm on SSRIs to be able to get through this time, but I just want to be clear, this has been hands down the most painful experience of my life. And it's really hard because I feel like the emotions are drastically different every day. There are days when I accept what's happening and I'm like, okay, I can move on, get excited about my future. Days where I feel like I'm swimming through mud. There are days like today when I feel really embarrassed and like a failure. It's such a mind fuck to go from talking to someone all day, every day, having them be your end all be all, and then have all that taken away from you overnight. Not only does it feel like the death of my marriage and the person I trusted and cared for most in this world, it also feels like the death of the future I imagined. You guys know I want to be a mom so bad. It's also the death of my kids with that person. I was doing everything I can on my end to get pregnant. You guys know that. It honestly feels like a double gut punch, and that's what I am grieving the most. Like, now I'm 30 years old. Living with my mom. Like, it's so embarrassing. It's the update, and I'm sorry to start the year off with bad news, but I love you guys for letting me be private while I deal with this, and I'll keep you updated.
Oh, hell no!
That marriage is already dead and buried. The day you packed your bags, crossed state lines, and left your husband behind, you signed the divorce papers all by yourself. If every time there's a crisis your answer is to run to your mom's house, no serious man wants you by his side. He's probably thinking, we wanted a child, we lost one, and instead of fighting through it together, you bailed and left me alone to deal with divorce talks. It doesn't get worse than that. That man's already made his decision. He's definitely leaving you. 30 years old, just hit the wall, back living with your mom, and no plan B. Like I said, it doesn't get any worse.
Story time about why I decided to leave my ex-husband. Keep in mind, before I left him, I was having all of these really gut-wrenching feelings in our apartment. I had left town for about a week and a half because I had gotten my gallbladder removed, and we were fighting, and he told me that he couldn't take care of me and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be with family to process everything and decide what I want to do with my life. And I literally couldn't sit up out of bed on my own, and he said that he was not going to be there to help me. So I was like, okay, I need to go get some help because, come on. So the whole time that I was home with family and had left and everything, he completely ignored me. I could not get a hold of him. No matter how many times I tried to call him, text him, no response. So I was spiraling because I was like, okay, at this point I hadn't asked for a divorce. I hadn't officially left. I just had left because I just got my gallbladder removed. And I was spiraling. I was like, I can't even get a hold of my husband. This is not okay. This is not healthy. And I start spiraling because I'm having all these gut feelings that like he's bringing a girl to our apartment, like he's cheating on me, like what is happening? I finally got a hold of him one night and he answered my FaceTime call. It was probably like a 5-minute phone call and he probably said like 2 words the entire time. Like he just stared at me. There was nothing in his eyes. He just was looking right through me, like would not say a word. And I was like, can you just talk to me? Can you communicate with me so that we can like figure out what's going on? Like, why are you so upset? Why, like, what is happening? He was really upset that I went home to be with family because he's like, well, I should be taking care of you. And I said, well, I don't understand because you just told me you couldn't take care of me. So I decided to go home. I was like, dude, like, what do you want from me here? When I finally realized that he was not going to talk to me, was not going to communicate with me, I just said, okay, I love you. And he just stared at me. Guys, I kid you not, he just stared at me. I'm not even exaggerating. And so I said it again. I was like, I love you. And he just stared at me. And I was like, why can't you say I love you? And he ended up just hanging up the phone. He never said I love you. So I texted him and I was like, why can't you say I love you to me anymore? Like, why is that so hard for you? And he said, I'm trying to love you, but it's just so hard. When I tell you my heart shattered into a million pieces, no woman wants to hear that, especially from their husband. And so at that point, I just basically cried myself to sleep because I'm like, okay, I can't get my husband to talk to me whatsoever. So we can't work through this. We can't communicate. He just said that it's hard to love me. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I had just gotten my gallbladder removed. My health was at the worst place possible. I literally, at this point, through all of the abuse within the relationship and stuff, I had just literally lost myself, felt like a literal shell of myself. And I just was so lost. But at this point, I still didn't know if I was going to get divorced. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I honestly think that he wanted an out, but he didn't know how to do it, which he did tell me that one time before. He said that if we ever get divorced, you're going to have to be the one who leaves me because I don't have the guts to do it myself. Excuse me, sir? Who the hell says that? What? And when he said that, it's not even like we were talking about divorce. He just randomly was like, yeah, if we ever get divorced, you're going to have to be the one who leaves me because I'm not going to have the guts to do it to myself. Sir. So I truly believe at this point he was just trying to make my life so incredibly miserable so that I would leave. There was one night that I literally felt like I was just like praying to God and just kind of like wrestling with God, like, tell me what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. And I remember just feeling a ton of peace. But just feeling like I needed to stay home with family a little bit longer. And I knew that if I told him that, he was going to be super upset because he was already pissed that I was even home with family. Like, he was so upset about it, which I think was the main reason why he decided to give me the silent treatment and not talk to me. But like, come on, grow up. I told him the next day that I was staying longer. No response. Like, he was upset at this point. I was just like, whatever. Then the next day I was like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go home because, you know, I just felt like I need to go work on our relationship. Like, I need to figure this out, figure out what I'm going to do. So I go back to where we were living. Keep in mind, the whole time that I was home with family, I hadn't had like a panic attack at all. I go back and get in the car with him, and immediately my body starts freaking out. Like, I feel like my throat is closing. I start like full on just panicking, like panic mode. When I got in the car, he was not even happy to see me, which no one knew that he was like this behind closed doors, because as soon as we would get around people, he'd put on this face and be his bubbly, happy self. But then as soon as we were behind closed doors and in private, like, he would just shut down and just like be so pissed at me and couldn't get a response out of him. And so it's like no one knew this was happening, but it was so manipulative. So at this point, I'm back in his presence. I'm having a full-blown panic attack. Like, my body's literally responding. My body was quite literally rejecting him. I remember after that panic attack, I was like, I just had this feeling like that's my answer. I can't do this anymore. And I just remember being like, no human should have to live like this in this much stress and misery and like not even feeling safe around your partner. And I remember walking back into our apartment. Keep in mind, I had been gone, like I said, for like a week and a half at this point. And I go back into our apartment and I just felt sick. Like, I felt like I was gonna vomit in there. I did not want to stay the night there. I felt physically ill. And I just had this gut feeling that someone else had been there when I was gone. And you guys, like, I can't even describe the feeling. I just felt so ill. My mom was there and I told her, I was like, I think I need to get a divorce. I'm just like sobbing. And she was like, because she didn't know anything that was happening behind the scenes. My mom and my ex-husband did not get along, though. They did not like each other. That was very clear. But my mom was in shock, and she's like, okay, let's call your dad. So I call my dad sobbing, tell him what's going on, and he basically said, like, we'll support you in whatever you choose to do. But he said, and this will always stick with me, he's like, the Lord does not expect you to be miserable. Which gave me peace too, and just knowing like this is not how marriage should be. This is not from God. If it was, then it would not be abusive, manipulative. It would not be causing me this much stress and chaos in my life. So at that point, that was kind of the boost and the reassurance that I needed from my family. They weren't saying, yes, get a divorce, but they basically just said, we'll support you in whatever you decide to do. I stayed in a hotel that night with my mom because I could not step foot in our apartment. It made me ill. And then the next morning, I packed up my stuff and I left. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 because there's so many details that I can't even include.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Let's be fair. Leaving your sick wife alone and not taking care of her is wrong. You're the husband. You're supposed to be there. But don't put all the blame on him either. She decided to go stay with her mom, cut him out of everything, made all the decisions on her own. And when she came back, she already had divorce on her mind. She says he cheated, but never showed a single piece of proof. Just an accusation. He got cold because she took away the one thing that makes a man feel valuable, being needed. She erased him from the picture. This marriage is dead. She doesn't love him anymore, and it's clear he wants out. It wasn't a message from God. God doesn't tell you to break your vows. It was your decision. You did whatever you wanted, blamed your husband for everything, and didn't take even a crumb of responsibility. Because responsibility is kryptonite for women. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why does the woman who divorces never take any responsibility? What do you think about your woman walking out on you when something goes wrong? If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support means a lot to us and keeps us motivated to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Wall.